Halley's comet is a regular visitor for our little Earth, passing by every 76 years. Yet, despite being harmless, it caused utter panic and hysteria in 1910. Why? Let's enter the vault and find out! In 1705, the English astronomer Edmund Halley predicted that a comet would return to Earth in 1758. He predicted this by using Isaac Newton's laws of motion, which allowed him to pick the exact week it would appear. Although he didn't live to see it, he was correct about the arrival, and so it became known as Halley's Comet. But even before it had a name, there were several mentions of this comet, with the earliest mentions being from ancient Greece around 466 BC. It visited again in 1835 and then in 1910. Now, the comet continues to visit and did so for quite some time, but in May 1910, when the comet showed itself closer to Earth than ever before, people reacted a lot stronger towards it than before. And why? All because of a scientific theory that had little to no backing to it. You see, it was discovered that the comet's tail contained cyanogen gas, which is colorless, highly toxic and pungent. It was the French scientist Camille Flammarion who warned that the Earth would pass through the comet's tail. He explained there was a chance that cyanogen gas would impregnate the atmosphere and possibly snuff out all life on the planet. He didn't really find it much approval by the scientific community, but the news published his opinion and, well, set the ball rolling. Despite many scientists giving an all clear, as the gas would be too dispersed to cause any harm, it wasn't enough to stop what was to happen. And so people began to seal up their homes in hope to protect from the deadly gas, and a market for some art remedies opened up. Scammers sold sugar pills and named them Anti-Comet pills, which were supposed to protect you from the comet's effects. Then there were also comet-protecting umbrellas, obviously all fake. It got so bad that the police made arrests against these scammers, but ultimately had to free them again as the demand for the supposed remedies was way too high. Gas masks also became incredibly sought after, which might make more sense if you wish to protect yourself from any gas. Yet some reactions were far more shocking. A California man nailed his feet and one hand to a cross and when found, begged to be left there. A religious group from Oklahoma called the Sacred Followers thought they could stop the apocalypse through a virgin sacrifice. They almost went through with it, but were fortunately stopped in time by the police. Then, even more horrific theories came up in fear, such as that the gravitational pull of the comet would cause massive tides that would flood across Europe and America. Of course, scientists saw no truth in these. They did say that perhaps an aurora borealis effect might appear, but that's it, and even that didn't happen. In fact, nothing happened. Nothing at all. The comet was visible, and for the first time a photo was made of it, but really it didn't do anything to our planet. Now, there were some things that did happen, but were unrelated to the comet itself. England's King Edward VII passed away after having been ill for a while. The famous author Mark Twain, who was born during the previous pass-by of the comet, predicted he would die when the comet passes again, and he was right about that, as he also passed away then. It was related to the comet indeed, but he didn't die because of the comet itself. In the end, it was most likely pure coincidence. But the comet had been a scapegoat for all things bad before, and was seen as a bad omen for a long time, as several things happened while it passed. In 66 AD, historian Flavius Josephus viewed the comet as an omen predicting the destruction of Jerusalem by the Romans. In 451, it oversaw the defeat of Attila the Hun at the Battle of the Catalonian Plains. In 1066 there was the Norman Conquest, during which King Harold II was defeated by William the Conqueror at the Battle of Hastings, although there the comet meant good news for William and bad news for Harold. In 1222 the comet was believed to have inspired Genghis Khan's invasion of Europe, and in 1456 it was accompanied by the Ottoman Empire's invasion of the Balkans. It was believed that comets were the harbinger of doom, as stars in the moon and the sun had their usual fixed positions and fixed order. To them, comets disturbed that natural order. But by 1910, humankind knew a lot more. In fact, the people of 1910 didn't know much less than we do today. So why did they react like this? First of all, it's important to note that just as there were many who fell for it, there were many who didn't believe anything bad would happen at all. Many even saw it with humor. But gloom and doom has always been more fascinating to people than peace and quiet. I mean, doesn't this all sound familiar to you? Don't you sometimes find yourself doom scrolling through social media, feeling your mind fill with these news, theories and comments? I definitely know that, and for the sake of my mental health, I have to tell myself, stop it, stop it, stop it. When you are faced with these things for a while, you might begin telling yourself, but what if? And this what if might be enough to make you go crazy. We have seen it with the COVID-19 pandemic. There are a lot of theories, conspiracies, or remedies out there. In fact, I'd go that far to say that people now are no different, because even with education and information being readily available to many people now, the human nature hasn't changed, and there will be people to abuse the situation for their own gain. People stealing masks to resell at higher prices, telling you to inject things that might harm you. Humans become more advanced as time goes by, but the ultimate nature of humankind might never change. Halley's comet last visited us in 1986, although it was very hard to see then. That time they actually managed to send spacecrafts to the comet, which allowed for more footage and research to be made. Yet it was not without disaster, as around that time the space shuttle Challenger disintegrated, killing all 7 astronauts aboard. Halley's comet is currently at the constellation of Hydra and will visit us again in 2061. Who knows what will happen then? But what are your thoughts on this? Do you think it is all fate, pure coincidence, or something beyond our human realms? Let me know below in the comments. But now, thank you for tuning in to A's World. I'm A, and I talk about all things history that are odd, fascinating, or just truly bonkers. I also finally bought myself a pop filter, which will hopefully improve the audio quality for you lovely listeners. Did you enjoy this video? Leave a like and subscribe for more content as planned. Have a nice week, and I'll see you next time!